This is Rouge. I've located Eggman's Base and will proceed to enter it now. I hate to say it. I guess I'm going to have to find that key first.
You ever lose your keys and then you have to break into your own home by climbing through the back window? Yeah, me either. Hello everybody, it's me, your good friend Sparky, and welcome back to the Sonic Adventure 2 Battle Chronological Let's Play. Boy, is that ever a mouthful. We are rejoining the story of Sonic Adventure 2 by following Rouge as she breaks into Eggman's Base. This is the first instance of a treasure hunting level that does not revolve around collecting the Master Emerald pieces. Instead, we are looking for keys to the base. The only problem is that there's this security robot flying around, and if it sees you, it attacks you. Makes sense, I guess. But Rouge is about to get a bit of a hand to help her out here with her first character upgrade. The picknails. The picknails are rather important, actually. You can dig into the ground or walls while you use them. Select dig in the action window, or you can just, in fact, simply press a B button while you're in the air or on a wall. Yes, now in our treasure hunting levels, in addition to things lying around in the open, we will also have to dig to look for them. And, yeah, that does make things a little harder. Depending on the level you're on, too, it can make things a little more obnoxious sometimes. Security Hall is just kind of on the annoying side because you do have to keep stopping what you're doing to hide from the security robots. As long as you're out of its line of sight or hiding in the shadows, you don't actually have to worry about it attacking you. As long as you're in the shadows, you can be right in the line of fire or right next to it and it still won't see you, so thankfully there are a lot of pillars and things around for you to hide from the dangerous flying rocket-powered ladybug, I think? Yeah, it's kind of a ladybug. Anyway, we seem to have found the key here. In this case, it's still hanging right on the wall, but whenever you're playing this level, or whenever you're playing some levels afterwards, you can almost bet that there's gonna be at least one thing you're looking for underground. Not always, but definitely in this level. Since you got the picknails, they want to make sure you can use them. Almost got caught by the security robot there. If you are in its line of sight or out in the open too long, it will start a bit of a countdown before it attacks you. Thankfully though, as long as you run to a shadow, it'll make it lose sight of you. And also, the security robot kind of goes in a set pattern. So you can always kind of predict where it's going to end up. If it's in one location, it'll fly around to another location, and you can kind of judge where it's going to go. And whenever it's in sight, you can hear it coming, and the screen also flashes green. And that was just me jumping into fire, apparently, but also just making sure the key I was looking for wasn't back in that direction, slowly creeping behind the security robot. Admittedly, this level is a bit maze-like in comparison to Rouge's first level, so it can make it a little more difficult to get around, but honestly, this is far from the worst example of a big maze-like level. We'll definitely get to that later. Just gotta stop and wait sometimes, though, when there's a ladybug nearby. You know how it is. It's all about determining where the most likely place is. And also not jumping into pillars of fire while you have no rings, because that would be very dangerous. That does bring up a good point about the treasure hunting levels, though. Much like in Sonic Adventure DX, collecting an emerald piece or a key or whatever does act as a checkpoint in the level, so you don't have to collect that piece again. Unlike Sonic Adventure DX, however, in that game, when you enter a level, the emerald pieces would be in set locations, even if you lose a life. In this game, however, whenever you lose a life, any emerald pieces or keys you don't have would end up getting their locations reset. They would re-randomized. So if you're on the path to getting the last key here and you lose a life, you're gonna have to find it all over again, basically. It's funny how they ended up working in Sonic Adventure DX because it made it really easy to just sort of cheese the levels so you would get a good time and be able to get certain missions done. Because what you would do is you would collect a piece, look for the other one, reset the level, and then immediately go to it, and you'd finish the level in like 30 seconds. It's hilarious. It was hilarious. That is definitely how I got all the Knuckles emblems in Sonic Adventure DX at one point. And sometimes when you're digging for stuff, it's just a matter of finding the exact right location it wants you to dig. Like right here, the spot is right around this torch, so trying to find it and not lose all my rings is a bit of a task. And when you're digging, you can find other items and stuff in the walls, too. So if you're in desperate need of rings, you can start just digging, and eventually you'll find something. But with that, that level is complete. Rouge's mission is done. We can even see the security robot off to the side there, just kind of chilling out.
All too easy for me.
All too easy.
It's a space transporter. The destination has been set to Ark. Wasn't that space colony shut down over 50 years ago? What's he doing up there anyway? Doesn't matter. It's my mission to find out what he's up to.
Gotta love her work ethic.
So this is the space colony Ark. I have to locate the central control room that Shadow mentioned before he left.
Remember what I said about the beginning of the story being kind of dominated by the dark characters? Yeah, we're up to another Eggman level already. That makes 3, and we've only played a Sonic twice? Weird how that kind of worked out. But we are finally aboard this mythical space colony Ark. And this level's a little on the annoying side. As you can tell, the Ark is kind of shut down since it's been abandoned for so long, and it's rather dark in here. And the only way to light it up is to shoot stuff and make things explode. I mean, if that's how you gotta turn on the lights, then I guess that's how you gotta turn on the lights. Overall, it's not too bad. There's usually plenty of targets nearby for you to light things up and get things visible. And in rooms like this with the glowing green goo on the floor, things tend to stay lit up in locations like this. But when you're wandering around the dark hallways, you just gotta find something to shoot and you'll be fine. Speaking of finding stuff, though, we can actually locate another character upgrade in this level. And a very handy one at that. Just gotta hop up a couple boxes. And there we are. We get Dr. Eggman's jet engine. This power-up should be familiar to lovers of Gamma. It allows you to hover by holding down the A button during a jump. Gamma in Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure DX got a similar power-up that let him hover. And now, Dr. Eggman can float through the air with the greatest of ease. As graceful as a giant walker mech can possibly be. It's not too graceful, but it is fun being able to float around. And being able to float around, too, in certain levels, it does let you take shortcuts in some situations, too, which is always fun. You can creatively use the jet engine to get better ranks during different levels. For sure. And sometimes in the levels, you can also will have to look around for switches, which I've been hitting. I don't think there's been other switches up to this point, so this is the first instance of them. And I definitely want you to make use of the jet engine, too. So, there's gaps leading into space, which is always fun to deal with. Definitely don't want to fall into the vacuum of space, which does kind of bring up the question of how Dr. Eggman is breathing right now. But then again, Sonic characters going into space doesn't seem to affect their vital functions at all, so maybe it doesn't really matter. And there are more exaggerated examples of a character just being in space later in the game, too. So, I guess we can say there's some kind of minimal life support function active on the Ark right now, I guess. That's what I'm gonna go with anyway. Occasionally, throughout these levels too, you'll just have these sections where you're just twirling around and shooting stuff and trying to build up big combos and things like that. You do have a limit on how long you can hold down the button to try and target enemies, though. If you take too long, your aim will dissipate, and you'll have to re-target enemies, and you'll lose your lock-ons and combos. So, it's good to try and target a bunch of stuff at once, but you also don't want to be greedy and end up completely losing out on points because of it. It's all about finding some balance, I'd say. We are almost to the end of this level. There we go. There's the exit. I was running out of things to say about this level, honestly. It is one of the more basic levels. The fact that it's kind of dark and can't see much is a little boring, but still not bad.
Piece of cake.
Delicious.
I've been waiting for you, Doctor. Now, I will show the glorious achievement of what the world's leading scientist, Professor Gerald, has created. The Ark was the first space colony created by mankind. Not many people know that the Ark contained a top-secret research facility where weapons of mass destruction were being created. This is one of them, a weapon capable of destroying an entire planet, codenamed the Eclipse Cannon.
Destroying an entire planet? Was this my grandfather's legacy?
But it's been deactivated for some time now. To reactivate it, large amounts of energy are necessary.
Oh, so that's why we needed the Chaos Emerald.
Exactly. To reactivate the machine, we need the 7 Chaos Emeralds. Once you have that, then you have the ultimate power of destruction to use as you please. And then, the world could be yours.
Sounds like a plan. I like the way you think, Shadow. I will get the Chaos Emeralds, use the machine to dominate the world and build a legacy of my own.
Do you really think it will be that easy? I've got a great idea. How about making a deal?
Deal?
When you grabbed that huge emerald, you said something about a reaction. A reaction that it may have with the Master Emerald. Now, if you could just let me borrow that radar, I may be able to help you. What do you think?
If I do, what's in it for me?
I have an idea where the other Chaos Emeralds may be. I may not look like it, but do you know that I am a treasure hunter that specializes in all kinds of jewels?
Very well.
Okay then, it's a deal. I don't think we've been introduced. I'm Rouge the Bat, but you can call me Rouge.
Can I just say I love the line, "The world could be yours"? Today's bonus content is all about going back to older levels and getting new upgrades using the ones we got in this video. For instance, now that we have the Picknails, we can revisit Dry Lagoon as Rouge and get a new power-up for her to enjoy. Just fly over to this wall on the side, and using the Picknails, you can dig right through it. This leads to a different room where we acquire a very special upgrade called the Mystic Melody, which is actually an upgrade that all the characters share. Change to Mystic Melody in the action window, then press the B button to play mysterious melodies. Whenever you see one of those pedestals, you can play the Mystic Melody at it to cause various effects to happen. In this case, it opens up a bit of a warp point for us to escape this room that we found ourselves in. But the Mystic Melody can also cause rings to appear, it can cause platforms to appear. It depends on the level and where you find that pedestal, but they're scattered all about, so it can be fun to experiment with them. And likewise, now that we have the Jet Booster, we can revisit Sand Ocean as Dr. Eggman and get his Mystic Melody from this level. Though getting his is a little trickier than it was with Rouge. There's a robot over there dropping bombs like it's nobody's business, and he's guarding the location that we need to Jet Boost over to. You really need to take out that robot before you even think of trying to fly over there, because we're trying to make our mark from a moving platform, and if you don't, it's just gonna be a bad time overall. He seriously drops bombs like crazy. And yeah, I tried to do it without destroying the robot. It didn't work out too well, and I got knocked into the instant death sand a lot. But we finally get the Mystic Melody. Not too difficult, just a little more of a task than it was with the previous acquisition. And this Mystic Melody actually brings up a pretty good demonstration of its powers here. It opens up a warp point like it did with Rouge, but this one acts as a bit of a shortcut into the level, which can be very helpful if you're going for a good ranking. If you need to cut down on how long you are in levels, you can use the Mystic Melodies to help improve your times. But enough of that for now. That's all for today's video. Thank you very much for watching the Sonic Adventure 2 Chronological Let's Play. This is your good friend Sparky signing off for now. I'll catch you later.
Game select.